Welcome to Barbara's Bulletin, the podcast where we bring you the latest news and updates from around the world. We start with a developing story that's making headlines globally. The United States is reportedly planning to launch a new phase of operations against Venezuela, according to sources within the U.S. government. This comes as tensions between the two countries continue to escalate, with the U.S. imposing sanctions on Venezuelan officials and President Nicolás Maduro accusing the U.S. of attempting to overthrow his government. A recent CBS News poll found that most Americans would oppose U.S. military action in Venezuela, with many expressing concerns about the potential consequences of such an intervention. The poll also revealed that a majority of respondents believe the U.S. should focus on diplomatic efforts to resolve the crisis in Venezuela rather than resorting to military force. Meanwhile, European powers such as France, the Netherlands, and the UK are growing increasingly uneasy about the situation. These countries have territories in the Caribbean and are worried that any U.S. military action could have unintended consequences for their own citizens and interests. As a result, they've begun limiting intelligence sharing with the U.S., citing concerns that the information could be used to plan strikes that would be considered illegal in their countries. The situation remains complex and fluid, with many different players and interests at stake. As we continue to follow this story, we'll bring you updates and analysis from experts and officials on the ground. We'll be right back with more of today's top news on Barbara's Bulletin. Welcome back to Barbara's Bulletin. We're diving into our middle segment, where we explore the latest developments from around the world. Today, we're focusing on the recent elections in Bosnia and Herzegovina's autonomous Republika Srpska entity. The region is voting for a new president after the removal of former leader Milorad Dodik, who was convicted of defying the Constitutional Court and an international peace envoy. Dodik, a staunch pro-Russian politician, has dominated the political landscape in Republika Srpska for years, voicing separatist ambitions and threatening the possible secession of the entity from the rest of Bosnia. His removal has sparked a new era of uncertainty in the region, with voters now choosing between two main candidates, Sinisa Karan, backed by Dodik, and Branko Blanusa, a university professor. The election campaign has been marked by a fair and tolerant atmosphere, according to Blanusa, who urged voters to come out in numbers among the 1.2 million eligible voters. The polls suggest a tight margin between the two leading candidates, with preliminary results expected after polling stations close at 18 fertile GMT. As we watch the developments unfold in Republika Srpska, it's essential to remember the complex history of the region. The 1995 Dayton Agreement that ended the Bosnian War divided the country into two entities, the Serb majority, Republika Srpska, and the Federation of Bosnia and Herzegovina, which represents the Bosniak and Croat communities. The international community has been closely monitoring the situation, with concerns about the potential for renewed tensions and instability in the region. As we await the outcome of the election, one thing is clear: the future of Republika Srpska and its relationship with the rest of Bosnia hangs in the balance. Welcome back to Barbara's Bulletin. As we wrap up today's show, let's take a closer look at the escalating tensions in East Asia, particularly between Japan, China, and Taiwan. In recent developments, Japan's defense minister, Shinjiro Koizumi, announced plans to deploy missiles to an island near Taiwan, citing concerns over China's growing military power. This move has sparked a reaction from Beijing, with top Chinese diplomats weighing in on the situation. Meanwhile, Taiwan has rolled out a crisis guide for its citizens, providing detailed instructions on how to respond in the event of a disaster or an attack by China. The booklet includes information on monitoring enemy activity and emergency preparedness. This comes as tensions between Taiwan and China continue to rise, with China warning its citizens against traveling to Japan amid an escalating spat over seafood imports. In related news, Japanese Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi has been meeting with world leaders at the Group of 20 summit, where she emphasized the importance of maintaining regional stability. The U.S. has also expressed concerns about China's military expansion and its implications for global security. It's a complex and sensitive situation with multiple players involved. As we strive to provide balanced coverage, it's essential to consider the perspectives of all parties involved. We'll continue to monitor these developments and bring you updates as more information becomes available. That's all for today's Barber's Bulletin. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and until next time, stay engaged.